Have you ever noticed how some things are easier to remember than others? Think about riding a bike. You probably learned by doing it, not just by reading about it. This is the core of active learning. Active learning is about doing, not just listening. It's about engaging with the material, not just passively receiving it. When we actively participate in the learning process, we understand and remember information better. We ask questions, solve problems, and apply what we learn. This makes the learning experience more meaningful and impactful. Passive learning, on the other hand, often leads to boredom and forgetfulness. Think about trying to learn a new language. Simply memorizing vocabulary lists might help you pass a quiz. However, having a conversation with a native speaker will truly solidify those words in your memory. Active learning is about making those connections and applying knowledge in real-world situations. Edgar Dale, an educational theorist, developed the cone of experience to illustrate how different learning experiences lead to different levels of retention. The cone shows that we remember more of what we do compared to what we simply hear or read. At the bottom of the cone are passive activities like listening to lectures. As we move up the cone, activities become more active and engaging. Examples include watching demonstrations, participating in discussions, and ultimately doing the real thing. The cone of experience reminds us that the more senses we engage in the learning process, the more likely we are to remember the information. Active learning taps into this principle by encouraging hands-on activities, simulations, and real-world applications. The National Training Laboratories, NTL, conducted a study that highlighted the effectiveness of active learning in knowledge retention. The study found that traditional lecture-based learning resulted in only about 5% information retention after a few days. In contrast, active learning methods like group discussions and teaching others led to significantly higher retention rates, reaching up to 90%. These findings underscore the limitations of passive learning. When we simply listen to information, it often goes in one ear and out the other. Active learning, by requiring us to actively process and use information, helps to solidify it in our long-term memory. The NTL study provides compelling evidence for educators to incorporate more active learning strategies in their classrooms. By doing so, they can help students learn more effectively and retain information for longer periods. John Dewey, a prominent American philosopher and educator, emphasized the importance of learning by doing. He believed that education should be directly related to the experiences of students. Dewey argued that true learning occurs when students actively engage with their environment, solve problems, and reflect on their experiences. Dewey's ideas revolutionized education by shifting the focus from rote memorization to active participation. He believed that schools should be laboratories for real-life experiences, where students could develop critical thinking skills and apply their knowledge to real-world situations. Dewey's emphasis on experience, experimentation, and reflection continues to shape educational practices today. Project-based learning, internships, and other forms of experiential learning all stem from Dewey's belief in the power of learning by doing.